Microbes also spoil our food. You know, sometimes food, if it is lying outside refrigerator, or especially in summers and rainy season, it starts giving bad taste, foul smell. All this is because of the action of microbes. Even leather goods and our papers, our books, they get spoiled by the action of microbes. But you know, we are smarter than microbes. So we have learnt how to preserve food. Now, what is the basis of preservation of food? You see, microbes need three things. One is food, second is moisture, and third is optimum temperature. So, if one of these factors or all the three factors are somehow removed from the action of bacteria, we can preserve our food. It is something like in olden times when an enemy attacked a fort, what they used to do? Just to bring the enemy out, they used to cut off their supply line of water and food. You see, forts were made to protect themselves. So, when enemy attacked, the fort wall was very strong, enemy could not enter. So, what they would do? They would stop food and water. Naturally, out of hunger and thirst, the gates of fort had to be opened and the enemy would enter. So, this was also one of the way. So, we also have to do the same. So, first let us take the case of food, which means whatever our food is, it should be properly covered or it should be inside an airtight containers. These days, even the dry fruits and vegetables, they are stored in airtight containers, so that air which has microbes does not come in contact with food. Even when you are opening the jar of jam, jelly or pickle, what your mother immediately screams? Place the lid tightly. Again tighten the lid. Don't use dirty hands. Why? Because that can spoil the food. Then there is moisture. You see, fruits and vegetables, they have moisture. If somehow we can remove water, then the food can be preserved. A very ancient and a very simple way was drying in the sun. You know what ladies would do? They would dry up seasonal vegetables like cauliflower, turnip, methi, and then once moisture was removed, it could be kept for many days. So simple. But then they also learnt better techniques. You know, if we put salt around a vegetable or fruit, then what happens? Water comes out, water gets extracted, and the result is that when there is less water in fruit or vegetable, it can last longer. That is how pickles are made. Mango pickle, first salt is applied on it, water comes out of it, then it can last for longer time. Sometimes we can even use sugar. When we put sugar syrup, then also water gets extracted, and as a result, the fruits can be preserved for longer time. That is the principle behind jam, jellies, sherbets, etc. How come we can have mango pickle even in winter? Or how can we have cauliflower and turnip pickle in summer? Or jam vice versa? Because we are able to preserve by using salt and sugar. Another way is chemical method. There are certain chemicals like sodium benzoate and potassium metabisulfite which are chemicals, but they also help to preserve food. There are some natural substances also like lime juice, vinegar, oil, they also help to preserve food. How does oil preserve food? Because oil and vinegar microbes do not like. Moreover, the layer of oil cuts off air. So, as a result, the microbes are not able to attack food. Lastly, the optimum temperature. If the food is in low temperature, then the microbes become inactive. They are not able to multiply. Now, you understand why we have to keep things in refrigerators or cold storage? Because there the temperature is less. and that is why in winters food does not get spoiled so easily. Another thing is very high temperature. Boiling. When we boil something, then bacteria not only become inactive, they get killed. That is why it is important to boil milk, use boiled water, because then it is totally free from microbes. So, what are the methods? First method was, for if we want to save our food, airtight containers. Even nitrogen filled or vacuum created containers can preserve food. Moisture, you can use, add salt as in case of pickle, add sugar as in case of jam, jellies, or sun dry. Even smoking helps in drying meat, fish, etc. You know, in the tribal areas what they do is they hang meat pieces or fish above the burner or the chula, and the smoke keeps on dehydrating this stuff, and it can then be preserved for very long time. If microbes do not get right temperature, then also they are not able to multiply and not able to spoil our food. So, what we do? We lower the temperature. That means we use refrigerators or we use cold storage for preserving our fruits, vegetables, because they are perishable. They have high moisture content. They get spoiled much more easily than our dried food stuff like pulses, grains, you know, rice, wheat or pulses. You can keep them for very long time at room temperature also. But if you put fruits and vegetables at room temperature, and that too especially in summers, then they can get spoiled very easily. Another way is that you increase the temperature, especially if you heat it well or boil it well, then all the microbes will get killed. That is why now you understand why is it important to first heat milk. Now here also Lord Jenner helped us understand about microbes, and then there was another scientist called Louis Pasteur. He said that okay, if you first heat a substance at 70 degrees Celsius for few seconds and then chill it, then it will be preserved even for a longer time. Why? By heating it at 70 degrees Celsius, the microbes will get killed, and once it is chilled, they will remain inactive. So, double sword. So, this process is called pasteurization, and that is why your mother dairy milk is called pasteurized milk. Cheese, all these things are pasteurized. What does pasteurized mean? Heating at 70 degrees Celsius followed by chilling. Heating 70 degrees Celsius, chilling. Then another very effective way is by adding preservatives. Preservatives can be natural, like vinegar, lime juice. Bacteria do not like vinegar, they do not like sour things, so they do not multiply. In pickles also oil is added because microbes do not like oil also. Or there can be chemicals like sodium benzoate, potassium metabisulfite. So, if you take care, then you can preserve food.